Let's talk about hard conversations that we have to have that bring us back to reality when we want to keep our heads in the cloud. So, I just had a conversation with my husband a couple nights ago, and it prompted me to make this video because I know that we are planning our second life. And in planning our second life, we have identified we have 5 years, 2031 for me, for some of us. Your timeline may be a little bit longer, maybe even a little bit shorter. We are stepping away from our everyday job that we have had for the past 20 plus years. Okay, so the conversation was initiated by the question, so what do you do if things don't work out according to plan? And I was like, interesting question, because we oftentimes hear people say, don't have a plan B, right? Because plan B gets in the way mentally of how you move and achieve plan A. Like, you're basically giving yourself a loophole or a way out to not achieve your goal. So if you stay focused on the goal and you stay committed to it, like, this is the only option. There's no failing, right? Like, that is oftentimes why people say don't have a plan B, because it opens that door, and now you think that, oh, okay, well, if this don't work out, I can just do something different, I can just whatever. But if we are committed and this is the goal, there's no out, there's no other options. Like, we have to make this work. That is the plan. But when the question was posed, there is a reality there. The reality is, come 2031, when I plan to walk out of the door of my current job, I could not have enough money. I could not have streams of income that I was counting on to supplement the income that I was making on my job. I could have so many different things that hinder me from walking out of that door, or stop me from walking out of that door completely, right? So that is a reality. And we do have to talk about that, and we do have to think about how we want to plan for that, not giving ourselves an out or not giving ourselves an escape from achieving our ultimate goal, which is the milestone of retiring, but also creating a second life that is intentional, that is centered around our peace, our joy, and what we want to feel like every single day, and what we want to give our time and energy to when it comes to the work we choose to do. So let's talk about this and how we frame this in our minds. I don't want this to be a plan B, and I don't want to call it a plan B. But I do want to face reality. Or the possibility of that being the reality. So I want to call it maybe our alternate exit plan. Okay? So let me know in the comment if you understand what I'm saying and what you are thinking in this moment. Because if we have an alternate exit plan, that could look like, okay, come October 2031, things are not set up or aligned the way that I have been planning them to be over this last 5 years. So I decide to stay on my job, right? Because I don't think it would make sense to leave the job just to go and search for another job. Like, that wouldn't make sense. So if I'm already in a job that's paying me, and I know this career, I've been working it, like, why not just stay with it until I'm ready to walk out the door? So that is a real thing. Like, it is a real thought. It is a real conversation that needs to be had. And I don't want our heads to be in a cloud or buried so far in the sand that we don't think about that and consider that, because I oftentimes too, I'm so optimistic, and I don't want to focus on the negative possibilities. But in life, we have to be prepared for those things, because if we are prepared, it's not such a devastating blow, right? It's not if we are prepared, the emotional response to it is less devastating. I'll say it that way. So, like I said, we need to have the conversation, and me bringing it up now gives us the thought, gives us the mind to prepare and to think about and to consider that being the possibility, or that being the reality come 2031. So we want to put that as a part of our roadmap and a part of our plan, that note, that nugget of understanding that that could be the reality. And if it is a simple fix. There is a simple solution to that. And the solution is you stay at your job. Just that easy. You stay. Because you've been working it, like I said, for the past 20 something years. You know it. You're comfortable with it. It's making you money. And there's no rush to exit if things are not aligning the way they need to. So I say all this to say that is a reality. It's a hard conversation. It's a hard thought, but it is a very big possibility, and it is a reality. And with that being said, we want to have that noted so that if, God forbid, we are ready to address what needs to happen if that is the reality. So it does not mean you failed. It does not mean that it's your disgrace because you could not fulfill your commitment or what. It means none of that. We pivot on our own time when it's right for us, when it makes sense for us. It has nothing to do with nobody else. So it doesn't matter. We still planning this thing out loud, and we are moving forward, but we have to be conscious about the realities of the future because we don't know what they hold. Okay, so we are going to talk more about the finances because I had another thought and conversation, and I've made some moves towards my Second Life bucket. And I told you guys that I was going to create the Second Life bucket. I'm in the know by January. Don't forget, we doing this thing. Comment below if you are in the know by January as well. And yeah, I think it'll still be January by the time you see this, of course. But I think if you're in it, let me know, because we've created the Second Life bucket and we are putting money in there. If you have not already made a deposit, you're planning to make a deposit at the end of the month. And so we want to talk about that, and I want to show you what that deposit was for me, and then what it's looking like and how I kind of went through that process. So that'll be coming next. But yeah, I wanted to just, drop that seed because it's a reality, and it's something that we need to talk about, and we need to just, like I said, plant the seed so that it's not lost on us that things could be very different come 2031. So anyway, with that being said, stay tuned for next week's video because we're diving in, girl. 2031 is nearing, and we got work to do, and we are on the right track, and we are pacing well, and we are identifying things, and we are planning, and we are setting up things, and I'm so excited about that. So stay tuned. Go catch up if you haven't done so already, and until next time, bye.